I come to you tonight with a mixed heart, somewhat of a heavy heart and somewhat of an optimistic heart, hopeful heart. But most of all, I come to you tonight with, you know, prayers, thoughts, well wishes, what have you, for JuJu Watkins and her knee. I feel, regardless of my prayers, thoughts, and whatnot, that unfortunately she's done for this tournament. But hopefully they do the operation on her, whatever ligament she tore ASAP. Hi, G. And she's back in time for next season, hopefully. Certainly back in time for the tournament next year. That's what one would hope. Regardless, the team looked really good without her. It was exciting to see, like, Avery Howe shot the lights out. Did a wonderful job. Kiki Iriafen, of course, is probably who I should have named first. She just tore it up tonight. Kennedy Smith was her usual quiet monster self. I love this basketball team so much. This is like one of my favorite teams I've ever been a fan of, and it's a young team. We've got multiple freshmen who play a lot of minutes. JuJu Watkins. I mean, it's a sad day for any basketball fan to see her go down. Who was a fan of good college tournament basketball, because what was looming large prior to her going down with an injury tonight was a matchup, assuming SC gets past Kansas State after that, and that assuming UConn gets past Oklahoma, was a matchup that looked to be likely to be JuJu and USC versus Paige Beckers and UConn, and now JuJu's out of the mix. Can we still beat Kansas State without JuJu? I think we can, based on what I saw tonight. You know, we had one of the best recruiting classes in the country. That's why we've got this talented group of freshmen. And I'm such a huge fan of this USC team. I know the roster quite well. Our freshman Kennedy Smith starts. She's like a shooting guard slash small forward. Sometimes she doesn't really ever play the point. Von Olhoffen, who's a senior, she transferred in from Oregon State. She usually starts at the point, but uh, so Kennedy Smith is one of our talented freshmen. But she's the only one that starts. However, Von Olhoffen shares minutes about equally with her replacements, which include Howell, who's another freshman, Avery Howell, and and Kaylee Heckel, number 9, K9 they call her, and the appropriate nickname. She's a bulldog. She is like, her hands are knocking balls loose all over the place. She's great, and she had a great game tonight too. She buried a three. She had a couple of great layups. She's got great dribble penetration. She does an amazing job driving the lane. She's quick. And she's excellent with, like, you know, she can go from anywhere underneath the basket and make it go in, right? Like, she's got all the twisty shots and all those kind of things. So she's really good. And then and Howell is like a 3-point specialist almost, and she had a really good game tonight. She's another freshman. Heckle, Howell, Samuel. She's a little, like, spark plug kind of player. She's the smallest player, but she of the freshmen, but she's good too. She can be trusted to handle the ball pretty much. Although Lindsay Gottlieb, our coach, seems to trust Heckle more with the in the point guard position. But regardless, obviously, it's you can't lose a player like JuJu Watkins without incurring some deprecation of your quality, right? But at the same time, if the team that played tonight shows up, I think that team can play against anybody and on any other team in the country, pretty much. except maybe Yukon, Kiki Iriafen would be the number one option. You know, she's a star in her own right. She transferred in for her final year of eligibility from Stanford, and she's great.
Mm-hmm.
And she's super positive too, always
Yeah.
smiling. It's such a happy team. It's like it's a joy to watch this team. Rachel
Yeah.
understands what I'm talking about
Yeah.
too. Like there's this one girl named Ryan Forrestier, and she barely sees any minutes, just in garbage time at the very end of games. But she is always so happy, always smiling on the bench, and they just seem like such a together team, like really a team. You know.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura says, "Have I played Red Dead Redemption 2?" No, I have not played that because I don't have it and don't want to play it. Two good reasons to have not played it. What you eating there? Salad
Yeah.
with hot sauce on
Mm-hmm.
it? Because that's what you wanted, or because we're out of dressing?
Well, like the two dressings I wanted to have were expired.
Did you look in the pantry to see if there was a dressing in there? Well, it was expired.
Mm-hmm. Except the only ones that aren't expired are the ones that I didn't want to eat. So it's just me being picky. We have blue cheese and roquefort.
Oh, okay. So you put on buffalo hot wing sauce
Yeah.
as dressing?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Great job.
Thanks.
I appreciate your food creativity there. Oh, what a. It was just. It's such a punch to the gut when JuJu went
Oh
down.
my god. I'm so early in the game.
Right. And it was so obvious, like, pretty darn quick that she was badly injured. Like, it was pretty obvious right away to me and probably most people there was some kind of ligament
You knew
problem.
it right away. Yeah. I was a little bit more gullible than that.
She tore her ACL or her MCL or one of those cruciate ligaments, the one that athletes often tear. Paige Becker's though, like the lady was saying on Sports Center, Paige Becker has also known about has experienced these kind of catastrophic injuries in her career. She's had it more than one, and today she put up her career high at home with 34 and a round of 32 game in the tournament. You know, so she's better than she's as good as ever, better than ever. So no reason to think that JuJu won't be able to come back from this and be as good or better than she ever was. You know. If I had any magical Chinese healing herbs, I'd send them to her, but I don't have any. Hey Rachel,
Yeah.
can you get me another one of those teas? I'm trying to go big here instead
Yeah.
of tonight. You hope it's not an ACL? Well, I mean, she could not move her that knee at all. She was like writhing in pain on the ground in agony, and the injury was caused by a weird twisting of the knee, so it almost certainly is. She had to be carried off the court, and you know, it's like I don't blame the team at all for getting a little chippy with Mississippi State, but it wasn't their fault at all. They didn't do anything to cause it to happen. It was just kind of a freak accident. So they called a foul on the play, but it was appropriately just a common foul. You going to bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna lay down.
All right, love you,
Love
darling.
you. I'll be watching from bread.
Yeah, we have tried to bake stuff, you know, make edibles, but I'm not very good at it. Rachel says she's willing to take a stab at it next time. I don't know exactly what I'm doing wrong, but it doesn't seem to come out very strong or something. I have this. They make this at the store, though. I mean, they don't make it at the store, but they sell it at the store. They make it someplace else. So What a great team, though. What a fun team to be a fan of. It's it's a team with a lot of weapons, and but it's powered by an engine of four key freshmen. Uh, we have one of the best recruiting classes in the country coming into this year, and the four freshmen are Howell, Heckle, Smith, and Samuels. I think to a slightly lesser extent is she a pivotal piece or an excellent piece of the puzzle exactly. She's a little undersized, but got great ball handling skills. And then, unfortunately, our current crop of bigs, they're all leaving. Marshall, Rhea Marshall played a phenomenal game, especially defensively, but she scored a decent number of points too. She got multiple blocks. She is just one of the best block specialists in the country. And so unfortunately, she's a senior, so this is her last tournament. Kiki's gonna be gone. This is her last tournament, and Akun Wafo, I think they said that she was a senior too, but she's not very good regardless. Uh, but here's the thing: we're gonna come back next year with JuJu plus those four freshmen I mentioned, plus four SDA, who is I think another freshman who doesn't see that much playing time. Thanks, KME9, and right back at you. I got a lot of respect for the Irish. USC and Notre Dame, we have a long history of doing battle on the gridiron, in particular, because we're both football schools, private football schools. Um, but we also both have excellent women's basketball teams. Notre Dame beat us earlier this year. So yeah. Um, well, shit happens, right? I did not expect that when I started watching the game tonight. JuJu got off to a cold start. I don't think she scored any points tonight at all before she went down with the injury. She was like 0 for 3, 0 for 4 maybe shooting. So I'm excited to see what the team can do without her, given that I'm assuming she's done for the tournament. And there's kind of a sense of um, lowered expectations, which makes it a little less nerve wracking to watch the later games. It won't be such a heartbreak if we lose to say UConn or something. But it'll still be a heartbreak when if we don't win the national championship, whenever we lose, if we lose, it's gonna be it's gonna be a dark afternoon or evening. But that's okay. I love sports in a healthy way. I don't get myself all too upset about it. Tonight was, that was hard to watch. Poor JuJu right on the ground. And it was like they were saying before she went down in the broadcast, in a city full of bright stars, she is, at that moment, shining brightest. Big, huge murals of her on the big downtown buildings. She's a huge star. She's all over TV and a bunch of commercials. Trying to convince me to get State Farm insurance, for example. Because, from whom ought one take insurance advice? An 18-year-old girl playing basketball. Of course. 19 maybe? She's a sophomore, probably 19. Daniel Barry Sports highlights evening. How's it going with you as well? But you know what? She might not be 19 yet because this time in my sophomore year, I was still Wait, no. No. At this time of my freshman year, I was still 18. But during my sophomore year, I was 19. Um, it is going fine. I'm a little sad about the whole injury to JuJu, who, if you've not watched her play before, she is silky smooth. And when she gets a little bit warm, you know, she's she shoots with extreme confidence, right? Like, you know how Caitlin Clark would fire up those threes from wherever. Well, Juju's the same way. She's not afraid to take over the basketball game, start just firing bombs and hitting them usually, you know. But she gets a little cold. She's a little streaky sometimes. You know, she feels seems like she feels more pressure than most anybody else on basically anybody else on the team, right? She puts a lot of pressure on herself. Everybody else looks like they're playing free and relaxed all the time. She looks like she's playing with supreme confidence, but you know, you can see her get uh, upset, like not pleased with herself if she doesn't think she's playing very well. But you know, it's a really exciting team to watch. It's a really fun group, and I love the vibe of the team. It's such a happy team. Gottlieb does such a good job of making sure that everybody's. It's not too competitive an atmosphere. You know, I think in women's basketball they are more cooperative minded as and work as a team kind of thing. Less like competition to get minutes is less prioritized maybe. Although obviously, you know, some people get a lot more minutes than others. I don't know. Just they seem like such a. They're always hugging each other and they seem like a close knit group. Gottlieb is a really mild mannered coach. Sometimes I think what she's saying is just so bland, but it's fine. Like that's all she needs to be saying, obviously. And she's got this assistant coach. I forget what her name is, but she's an older lady, probably early 70s, late 60s, I would guess. Um, and she's a kind of like a famous, experienced head coach for a lot of years. And Gottlieb hired her as an associate head coach to just kind of be a general um, advisor with a lot of experience and know-how and stuff. I think that was really smart. Hopefully, she successfully has. And I've noticed that Gottlieb's done a good job of giving a lot of different people, all the best people, as many minutes as she can. Hopefully, she keeps them all happy enough that nobody transfers. You know, hopefully the group is just like, oh, we're so in love with each other. We want to all be together forever. Hopefully, they're like that and stay together so we don't lose any of the key components, you know. If we keep Juju and the four freshmen, we'll get our pick of bigs from the transfer portal, probably, you know. So, anyway, I just, as always happens when I have feelings about things, I decided it's important for me to tell other people about my feelings about things. Because I don't, you know, not a lot of things necessarily are going to make me feel such strong positive feelings. I don't know. I watch plenty of sports, but usually you're the team you want to be the best team is not the best team. Like as an Oakland A's fan, you have kind of modest ambitions. I hope we make the playoffs, maybe as a wild card. With USC's women's team, I reasonably have ambitions of like maybe not this year, especially with Juju going down, but national championship is in Juju's future. and this USC team's future. I feel very confident about that, barring catastrophes of various sorts that could conceivably occur. Hi, Gianluigi Buffon. That's Todd as a Georgia peach. This is St. Ides Georgia peach flavored. They didn't have any more mangoes. They were all good. The lemonade's pretty good. The lemonade's not quite as good as the peach. But they're all not too sweet, you know. They taste like iced teas. They're thirst quenching. It's just almost like a cocktail, you know. Yeah, peach is a good flavor. I still think mango was a better flavor in these. I'm not saying in the world mango is a better flavor than peach, but I am saying I like the mango ones of these iced teas a little bit better than the peach. You love peach, apricot, and plum. So basically, you might just well say, I like stone fruit. Those are all stone fruit. So called because of their large pit in the center. It functions as a seed rather than, say, like lots of seeds, like in an orange or an apple or a potato. No, not a potato. Potatoes, they have eyes, not seeds. Now, potatoes do have seeds, of course. They come off of the flowers, but that's not inside of the potato. So it's a little bit different. You can eat a peach for hours. You must eat really slowly. What? You mean something dirty? What kind of world is this coming to? Where people can't enjoy a delicious peach beverage without somebody bringing up some locker room dirtiness. Why, I never, says the old man indignantly. So I got weed here today, but I also got this little bit of this concentrate. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on here with my pudding device. This is for pudding things. Get a little dab of this stuff on here. It's kind of a big dab of it, but that's fine. I'm a big boy. Oh. You an ant? Am I an ant? No, I'm not an ant. Neither am I a goose. But Geese 88 is a goose. What kind of goose? Canadian, probably. But maybe just regular. Is there a difference between Canadian goose and a regular goose? One of them will arrest you for using the wrong pronouns. Oh, you're a Portuguese goose. I see. Well then, you must be able to freely travel to Brazil without any language difficulties. It's funny how Portugal and Brazil both have really good soccer teams. Maybe it's something about the Portuguese language that makes them play soccer well. Was this like completely empty of water or something? Is that Spanish? Spanish is not the same thing as Portuguese. Obs magobs. Don't worry, staying off the grid. I'm oiled up. I am so oiled up that I'm dripping with moisture. Look at me drip. Look at me drip. Look at me drip with moisture. What did I come in here to get? I don't even know. I should probably eat some food of some kind, I guess. Do I have anything to eat today except for habit? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I need to stop rubbing my eyes because I pet the cat and then I get catness in my eyes, which naturally makes them itchy. Social media, that won't help. They're quite different, the Brazilian and Portuguese versions of Portuguese. You don't understand, G. The language of Portugal and of Brazil is el football. There, I fixed it. Now it's tall enough for everybody, including me. This is my song, C to C. It's 8 notes, 1 octave, you see, and that's why this song sounds like it does. Here is my song, listen to it play. If you don't think that it's great, then you are lame. This song is wonderful, you can tell if you are listening well instead of poorly. You gotta listen right. Poorly. You gotta listen right. Do you like my song? Of course you do, because it's great. So what do? You've got to like it. Viking heart. Oh, what a surprise to go down to A right there. Nobody expected it, everybody was like, hey, that's not fair. Then to F, oh my God, D minor A for tall, back to A again, B flat and then we win by getting to C again. That's my song. Hope you enjoyed it. Some are Brazilians that sound Italian with their accents. Hey, let's go watch some soccer. All right, wonderful job, everyone. Okay, now we're gonna do this. You ready? That's wonderful. Hard rock. Ah, so difficult. It's so difficult. Let's change the sound of the piano. Well, I did. This is a sound you hear when somebody's tiptoeing. not really a good beat for this. I like this cool shuffle beat they have here. Because we're trying to tempo down. Not that. That's not what I meant to do. That. Go slower. such a difficult piano. Ah. Ah, so hard. Ah. Oh. Fuck me in the ass. I can't play the keyboard fast or well. I can barely play it at all. Fuck me in the ass and call me Tuesday. Yes. Fuck me in the ass and call me Tuesday. This is something I've been saying lately. When I feel frustrated, I say, fuck me in the ass and call me Tuesday. I'm not sure what change Tuesday will bring. But Tuesday's when I expect my phone to ring. After you have finished fucking me in the ass. Yeah, fuck me in the ass and call me Tuesday. If you're calling me Tuesday, I'm going to assume you fuck me in the ass. So tell your mom not to call me Tuesday, or I will misperceive her as one who's fucked me in the ass. Not to say that your mom The end. That was a wonderful, wonderful song. I call it Fuck Me in the Ass and Call Me Tuesday. And I call it that because naturally, that's what I say when I struggle with something. The saying I've started saying of late. Like if I have to unscrew this screw for this lamp thing outside and it's giving me trouble. That would be an example of a situation where I would say the expression. But fortunately now I've written a wonderful song about it. So you know, fuck me in the ass and call me Tuesday. I've got heavy eyes. What does that mean? It means I'm tired, I guess. Or kind of high from the 300 milligram teas I've drank. I don't know if I finished the third one or not yet. It might be a possibility. I'm going to take one of these melt in your mouth antacids. They're convenient. You don't even have to have any liquid to take them. Of course, the best antacid of all. The good old-fashioned American Marlboro Red. That doesn't taste bad, but I'm habituated to expecting the taste of Adderall. When I melt pills in my mouth, it's usually Adderall. Well, I certainly had a busy day today. Going to Merced. But, you know, Rachel and I will go to the store tomorrow. I'll go back inside. I'll see what the chat's saying and everything. And probably wrap this up before too late here. Why are you going to wrap it up before too late, Eric? Well, I'm a little bit fatigued. Or fatigué, as the French would say. I'm a little fatigué. And accordingly, probably do me some good to get some sleep, you know, some rest. I don't know if that's going to happen right away, though, but it might, in theory. If I were to lie down, I probably would go to sleep. I've done a good job of practicing the piano tonight. I played the piano for quite a while there, and if you can feel myself getting better at it, it's fun. It's a lot of fun to play. It's you know, a little frustrating because I'm trying to do things that I don't know how to do yet, right? We have frogs around here. This is a wonderful place. hear the frogs? They're frogging it up around here somewhere. Why? What are they saying to each other? They're saying, "Hey, are you a frog? I'm a frog too. You want to come hang out with me? We could eat flies together." Maybe they're trying to do a little bit of the old ew. I don't, I don't know about frog mating habits. In case you don't know, the ew refers to a creaky door opening and shutting. So what I mean is the frogs want to go visit a haunted house together. I really do need to eat something, I think. So I don't really feel like eating anything, but I probably will anyway, I guess. Trouble, do I have to watch you eating? Okay, needy cat. Needy cat bun needs a lot. Have I ever tried eating a whole tube of RSO? I don't know what RSO is even. Ray Whitaker is actually diabolical. Who's Ray Whitaker? I don't think a Buddhist worldview will help. You can't just pretend that suffering doesn't matter or exist because you pretend that you don't have desires or something. It's like actualization is, a person's actualization path is rather dependent on their function stack, circumstances, probably a lot more than a specific belief system. Let me get my coffee. I'll be right back. Oh, a tube is a gram of THC. Well, we've been drinking these drinks that have 100 milligrams in them. So that's 1/10 of a gram. A gram's quite a bit. It's like drinking 10 of those cans. I feel you though. It's like I know the feeling of not getting adequately faded, but and then wanting to drink more cans. They seem to hit Rachel a little harder than me. Hello, kitty. Yes, you're a good boy, makes you want schmoy, and a happy boy makes you happy schmoy. Yes, you are. So I think this light bulb may have gone out. I'm going to try to replace it with one of these other ones and see if it works. Okay. It could be the fixture. But the only way I'll really know for sure is if I do that one and it's too hot, I think. So, let me try this one. Okay, well, Well, all three of these bulbs can't be out, are they? Is this fixtures all fucked up? Oh my god. These fans, these ceiling fans. The devil himself installs these fucking ceiling fans. Well, not today, Satan. Okay, today. But eventually I'm going to take you down. It seems like these horrible ceiling fan fixtures are manufactured at the 7th level of hell. So horrible. Hey, we will destroy the goodness of homes with ceiling fans. Also contains all the cannabinoids, terpenes, and additional compounds of the whole cannabis plant. Well, good for RSO. Almost 800 milligrams, huh? That's quite a bit. I'm going to go outside for a second and look at my little babies, see how they're doing. They survived their first night out alone in the outside and the cold. You know, prior to that, they've been here in the warmth of the kitchen. So I feel pretty confident about their viability. Gives me trouble. But I wouldn't say, you know, you're out of the woods yet with babies like this. I mean, one of the cats could dig them up, for example. But they're all still alive. This one? I think we're going to lose this one, maybe. It got a little covered in dirt, but I uncovered it. Here, I'll show you guys. So this one is not clear if it's going to survive. Like this one, you can't really see it very well on the camera. You gonna get some rest? Oh, you do so, y'all. Nice chatting with you too. I hope you have a pleasant rest. May both of your eyelids be shut. That's an ancient Persian well-wish thing. What do we call that? Salutation or nicety? Banality? Aphorism? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. It's a nice evening. Just have this light jacket on. It's plenty. I think I should probably eat something, but I don't really feel like it. Alright, well, let's go look inside and see. Hi, Trouble. I think there's actually 3 of these Italian dinners left, so I'll have this lasagna. Now, okay, well, I'm going to put this lasagna in for 7 minutes, and then I'm going to feel the bottom of it, because what I know for sure is that the time listed on this box is totally wrong. This says 5 minutes. If you cook this for 5 minutes, it'll still be frozen. They got the times backwards on this box and on the chicken Parmesan box. I missed, of course. Thanks, Show Media, for informing me. This doesn't come with me, it goes in the microwave. Alright, you. In you go. Time 700. I want to go for 700. 700 what? Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, poor JuJu. She must be very upset right now. You know, she plays the whole season. Everybody plays the whole season to get to this tournament in the round of 32. She's got the biggest games of the season coming up, round of 16, 8, 4, and then potentially the national championship game. So potentially 4 more games left in the season. And she gets hurt. She must be very frustrated. Well, JuJu, you know, I wish you all the best. I'm sure you're not watching my live stream right now. You're probably busy with more important things, but in case you happen to be watching my live stream right now, I just want you to know I really hope for the best for you, and I'm sorry that you got hurt. As a big USC fan, even if I were just a college basketball fan, I'd like you, but as a big USC fan, obviously, your health and well-being is close to my heart, so I wish you all the best. I'm going to dedicate this twist tie to JuJu Watkins. This is like, you know, Stephen Colbert's wrist strong bracelet. Well, this is the JuJu Watkins knee wellness twist tie. May it bring her knee much wellness and good fortune. I will put it someplace like right here. It's a good place for it. There. There you go, JuJu Watkins. No, I'm not dedicating one to Michael Vick. Michael Vick can suck it. Well, that's just waiting here. They're going to make that ready any sooner, really. So, I'm going to go. All right, Kay left her cello bow over here. I need to return it to her. But in the meantime, I could cello bow my guitar. See what it sounds like. Or you just cello bow my finger. In my world, how bowing the same spot changes pitches. So that's convenient. Well, I guess it must because you change your pitches with your fingers up top, huh? So I guess it does. Let's see how the guitar sounds with a bow. Alright, let's check this out while we're waiting. This will be quick. Alright. I'm gonna plug this in into this one over here. I'm gonna plug this in into this here. Blaze it and praise it. I gotta eat some food and meet some food. have to feed more than just my lungs and head. It doesn't work very well. Well, it was worth a try. I mean, you can make it work actually. In this case, so you can sort of use it. You gotta be a little bit creative. Doesn't just like bow back and forth like on a cello, Alright, put this down. Oh, I need to eat some food. With my eating mouth. Can I dance? Well, I can vogue. Does that count? I can vogue, I can pose. I can jog in place. But I can't do the shuffle. I can do the dancing party dance. If you want to see me dance, I could show you the dancing party dance. Here we go. Here is lasagna. This will make me feel less like, whoa. I mean, it's partially because I had 3 of those drinks. But mostly it's because I think I haven't eaten much. This is good enough. Rachel's so funny. She comes to me like not like on a daily or anything, but frequently with things that she came to me with today, which is, we don't have conflicting core values, do we? You might think like, shouldn't both partners in a relationship be able to independently determine that? But the thing is, what she'd been doing is watching Love is Blind. Emily's says the mandolin plays similar to the violin with double strings, but it's played with a picker finger instead of the bow. Huh. Interesting. You play the fiddle and the mandolin. That's a cello bow, Emily. Our neighbor, she plays the cello, and she came over yesterday, and we jammed out. And she normally plays it with her fingers like a stand-up bass, but it's a what she says it's a kid-sized cello or a like a student cello or something. And she's an excellent bass player with it. It surprised me when I, when I first started playing with her and stuff, or hearing her play, how well she understands her job as the rhythm section. Now, granted, like anybody, once she gets deep enough in her cups, then she gets a little bit less refined, perhaps. But the only problem with it, of course, and it's not a problem with the thing itself, it's really a problem with me, is that I cannot look at her fingers and know where she's playing at all. So if her fingers were it would be a C like on a stand-up bass, I'd be able to see that on a stand-up bass. Oh, Rachel's here. Thanks, Jay Turnbull, about the overalls. I can't look at her fingers on the cello because it's tuned differently. She told me what the tuning was, but I can't process the music transposition that quickly while I'm playing, so as to know where that what looks like a C is actually a mia or whatever. It's 4 strings, like, isn't it? Or maybe it's 5 strings, but basically same number of strings as either a 4 or 5 string bass. But it's not tuned the same. Anyway, so Rachel came to me with this, or core values nut line. But the thing is, those people, and what struck me about the whole thing is the world in general, they have no idea how to talk about values even. Because to correctly understand values, you need to have some comprehensive set of frames of reference under which and in relation to I'm a little bit high, I guess. A little higher than I thought for a second there. I thought I was not really that high, but I'm kind of high. So what I'm trying to say is well, the thing is, what the people on Love Is Blind were talking about as values were things like somebody's position on George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. What she really meant was politics. However, what she really meant was not even politics. She really meant culture war. If you're on the wrong side of the culture war from that woman's perspective, then you're not eligible to be, you're not mate material, right? No, I can do that myself once in a while. Not much to do, really. And the stuff I got to do is, like, there's one room I got to sand and paint, and then we got to just kind of put furniture where it looks okay, and then that's it. You know, we're gonna press it to move. I want to talk to, what's her name? And tell her this because in this case, the details will matter less, you know. So what she does is she has her political team affiliation misconstrued as part of her identity and misconstrued as a value, most importantly, right? So there's no reason to think that your position or your whether you side on this side or that side of a given position is part of your identity because, after all, it should be subject to change pending better arguments, better advocacy. So the thing is, what she didn't want was somebody whose values aligned with her. She wanted somebody who shared her outrage, because the guy said, like, oh, I don't like, basically, I'm apathetic about the issue and I don't like to have positions on controversial topics, which is a perfectly reasonable position to have. So there, sharing your outrage about one specific political issue is not a matter of any kind of core value. And as I was saying to Rachel earlier, both sides would assert that they are upholding the same value of justice to the exclusion of the other. In reality, there's no issue at all with cops being treated unjustly, and the fact that they are subject to danger, that's just part of their job. That's a job they signed up for, and they should aspire to. I mean, they should hold themselves to a higher standard, right? But the idea that somehow your partner has to have a shared strength of opinion, it's not really even, it doesn't matter exactly what the position side is. For this woman, it was, what she wanted to hear was an equivalent kind of, oh, absolutely, that outrages me too, or at the very least, something like, well, it's really clear cut that, yeah. She didn't want to hear apathy because she views that as indicative of some sort of fundamental misalignment between the two of them, because she's a culture warrior. But, it's like, what happens if she does get with another culture warrior and they're in full agreement on point? Yeah, wonderful. Our core alignment, our core values align. But then there's some new issue that comes up where the two of them disagree. But it's now, like, agreement about every political issue is now a deal breaker in the relationship. It's crazy. Core values are things like relevance versus resonance, things that are personally very familiar to you versus things that are relevant independent of you. Ask their stance on Tower 7. The Artifice Girl? Did I watch it? What did Rachel see? Oh, Johnny's coming out with a new song on the 27th. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'll be looking forward to that. This food is pretty good. It tastes a little bit like Flavor and a lot of bit like Mom. Mom tasted exactly like lasagna. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate in the coming days and weeks. I feel up to it. even knowing that, we'll have a sleepy week coming up here. I'm going to try to maybe force an early sleepy week on myself. And then see what I can get done during that sleepy week while retaining some Adderalls for after that sleepy week. It's something I tend to try every time, but kind of never succeed at. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will. And then everyone will be like, "Wow, you did it, Eric! It's amazing!" I'll be like, "Hi, doll! Look at me go!" The Artifice Girl. I mean, it'd be interesting to watch it just so I could see what you think represents a TI movie. I wonder if it actually is a TI movie. Is that the only place you can watch it? Show me to you. Is it on YouTube? Oh, it's on YouTube. Oh, there's a trailer for it. I'll see if it's on YouTube. Hold on. I don't think it's on YouTube. Paste. Oh no, it is on YouTube. I could rent it for $4. Oh, maybe I will. I'll leave that tab open. If I feel at a loss for something to watch, maybe I'll rent it and watch it. And I'll be like, "This is what show media thinks is a TI." That's what I'm anticipating. Let's see if that's what happens. I don't want your $4 show media. So, Rachel and our values align in that what comprises a value? Fairness or authenticity. Those go with TIFI. Rachel and I both value to some extent authenticity. I think Rachel values it most of all in other people. I think I value it. I don't think about it very much as a value in other people unless I note somebody being particularly fake. I don't know. I think I enough THC to just make my mind go. Enough already, Eric. As you're thinking about things. So, Rachel is because we both deprioritize the S's as ways of paying attention, and accordingly, since that's our nature, we don't like it when other people, environments, or whatever expect us to be people who pay attention uh, as some sort of primary way. Those ways of paying attention. Accordingly, we share the same values because we don't. Neither of us expects S shit nor wants it expected of us. So we don't want our chops busted about, say, "Come on, it's dinner time. Sit down at the table, and we need to eat dinner." We don't want our chops. We really don't like to be. We're not eating when we feel like eating, and not eating when we don't feel like eating. And we just we're perceivers, and particularly we're intuitive perceivers, so it was kind of, we tend to think that, things like regular schedules of meals and bedtime and wake up time and all that kind of stuff is both difficult to sustain and boring, undesirable because it constrains us in ways we don't want to be constrained. Then the flip side of that is we share the ends as absolute values. And importantly, how I judge other people in the world, that's her dominant function. So to me, if you got super shitty I'm gonna not have a shit ton of respect for you, maybe. Depends. But I mean, I try to respect people based on things like their character rather than their function stack. But one would say that an ENTP who is unaware of all this stuff would find themselves not having respect for people who have not good NI. I'm so sad for her too, Dead Boy Klaus. It was like getting punched in the gut when it happened. I don't think for a little while, I really didn't say anything. I didn't even know what to say. It was just like, how is this happening? But this lady on Sports Center said something, and I found it encouraging, and hopefully JuJu hears this message as well from Sports Center that Paige Becker, she's gone through a couple of catastrophic injuries, and today she had her all-time highest score at home in her final game at UConn. So this goes to show you, I guess, that a player can come back from these kind of setbacks and be as good or better than before. Hopefully, JuJu is of that sort, an example like that. Like Paige Becker's, who's really good. Paige Becker is a silky smooth. Torn ACL. Oh, is it official now? I figured right away. I was like, A or M? Which one did she tear? Pat McColligan. Hello. Yeah. Cheers, that boy Klaus. Me too. It's really sad for the tournament as well. She's obviously a superstar. So, but I tell you, the SE looked like, they just looked fantastic today without JuJu. As far as I know, I can't think of her scoring any points in the game. Maybe one free throw, before she got injured. So all of the points we scored were not JuJu scoring, and we put up almost 100 points. Everybody looked great, really. Heckle, absolutely deserving of her nickname K9. Not only did she drive the lane like a beast, but she buried a three and got so many turnovers. She's our Pete Rose. She's our Mr. Hustle. And then Avery Howell was really like feeling her stroke from three. She's kind of a 3-point specialist, and that was great. These are just the freshmen, right? Kennedy Smith had her normal quiet monster game. You don't really notice her so much. Something about her makes her kind of slide into the background, but she's a beast, and she's the only freshman that starts. And then of course, little Samuels. What is Samuels' first name? Little Samuels. She's a little firecracker point guard, but they all got plenty of playing time today with JuJu out. And they usually do. They've been getting plenty of time all season, so that's good. Kiki Iriafen looked like, you know, every bit a superstar, which she would be the absolute top star on any team but like SC or maybe UConn. Yeah, because Kaylee Heckle, her name starts with K, and her number is 9. So I guess some people on the team nicknamed her K9, which she's such a feisty player. Like, not feisty like chippy, but feisty like Christ, does this girl ever stop going like this? All that kind of stuff. You can imagine how frustrated her opponents are because if they stop paying attention for 1 second, she's stolen the ball from them. Well, I gotta tell you, I have not historically watched a lot of women's. Certainly, I haven't really watched much women's basketball. Um, USC hasn't been good in a long time. Uh, but I am so in love with this team. It is such a great team to be a fan of, and I feel like okay, probably we're not going to win the national championship this year without JuJu, um, but it might make watching as far as we do go the rest of this tournament a little more low stakes and kind of fun to watch. I think USC at this point is going to be counted out by everybody. Not it's too late to change your brackets, of course, but it's going to be counted out by everybody as a national championship contender. But if we play like the way we played tonight, I think we can compete against anybody with with 4 freshmen on the floor even. Although I like to see the ideal lineup, in my opinion, is Marshall. Maria Marshall is this very tall girl who's just a constantly blocking everybody. So she's very good at that, and she's also good on the offensive end, but not maybe the most dynamic center offensively, but very, very good defensively. And then Kiki Iriafen. So start with Ryan Marshall at center, Kiki Iriafen at power forward, who's had a game tonight for sure. She was excellent. And then, given that JuJu's out, I'd like to see the other 3 on the floor would be Heckle, Howell, and who's the third person I want on the floor out besides Marshall and Kiki and Heckle and Howell? Well, I guess I would go with Smith, Kennedy Smith. That's what I want. So those 5 people, that's our best lineup. Okay, Kennedy Smith and Kiki and Marshall are all starters, but Von Oelhoffen, she's a starter, but she's not as good. I don't think. I think it's pretty clear she's not as good as either Howell or Heckle. She's not as good as Kennedy Smith. But nevertheless, Von Oelhoffen starts at point guard because she's like 5th-year senior or something that transferred in from Oregon State. Was probably promised the starting job. Anyway, with that lineup on the floor, Kiki Iriafen, Ray Marshall, however you say it, um, Kaylee Heckle, Avery Howell, and Kennedy Smith. I think that lineup can compete with any lineup in the country. Those are some of the highest recruited freshmen in the whole country, and they've had playing time all year. So I'm going to. You know what's so wonderful about the low WNBA salaries? They have no reason to leave early. especially if they get NIL money in college, you know. And I think um, Kennedy Smith, Heckle, and Howell will. Well, maybe not Howell because he's kind of a 3 point specialist, but maybe Howell. But I think Kenny Smith and Heckle will both be NIL level stars before, in a year or two, because Heckle had herself a game tonight, and it was like big time situation, right? She's been a little bit more spotty than Kennedy Smith, who's very reliable, but um, Rachel and I were coming. We've been really watched her grow up as a player since earlier in the season. Ever since Golly benched her one game, like she didn't play at all in one game, and she's been much better since. Well, I mean, JuJu's making lots of money off NIL. She's all over TV. She's in a bunch of commercials, But most of her teammates aren't making that kind of money, I'm sure. Regardless, Paige Beckers, JuJu Watkins, they're making more money in college from NIL deals than they'll make from salaries in the WNBA. So they don't have any reason to leave early. That's the good thing about it. Because I like the way that women's college basketball, you have like Caitlin Clark stay her whole career in college. Same with Angel Reese, too. She stayed her whole career in college. They don't leave early for the pros. I like that. It gives you a chance to get to know the players and over the course of a few years, they're not just one and done. And some pro athletes take care of their whole family, and you got to invest for your career dries up. They make more money from endorsements, says Cammy. Yeah, they do. Because nobody really watches WNBA games that much. Well, you know, people who are not accustomed to having a lot of money, it takes a little while to get used to that. Yeah, the college endorsement thing is good. Hopefully, they'll surround themselves with good people who have their interests in mind. Like I believe JuJu has. She doesn't seem. She doesn't seem like the moment or the situation or whatever is too big for her. She understands her role and how to fill it well. Um, or maybe doesn't think about it at all, and that's why she does that. Who knows? But I think she thinks about it. I think people have talked to her about it plenty, and good people who want what's best for her talk to her about it. Pre-save is in the place where people put them. I don't know what that means. What is pre-save? Johnny, you need to get off Instagram and on YouTube. I'm sick and tired of you picking the wrong platform to prioritize. Everybody knows YouTube is the best platform. Everybody knows that. You'd never let your kid play football? Um, I would if my kid was driving the interest in it. I wouldn't initiate the engagement in that sport if I had a son. Well, I mean, I know they're a lot more careful about helmet to helmet and stuff than they used to be. Like Johnny, my neighbor, ex neighbor from a long time ago, from back in Temple City, he played football in high school, and He told me they used to have like drills where they'd go helmet to helmet. It's like, oh god, that sounds horrible. So that generation may still incur those kind of things. I think I did post a couple pictures there, maybe. So yeah, if I had a kid that I wanted to get encouraged to get into sport or something, I'd pick a sport like, I don't know, swimming. That way they have a sport where they can compete by themselves and determine if they're good enough to sustain their interest or whatever. And then maybe I'd also consider giving them a try at a team sport like basketball. Basketball, you're not likely to get too many concussions. I know Ultimate Frisbee is awesome. I watched this great Ultimate Frisbee play on John Boy, where this one guy totally fools the defender. It's a great play. Well, I guess I'll wrap this stream up and and watch some cartoons or something before bed and get ready to go to bed. And just let's all encourage with our mental manifesting powers the quick and complete healing of JuJu's torn ACL. May she return with an ACL even better and stronger than the original one. Amen. Until next time, you can go for an Ambien right now. Wow, I think I'll be able to sleep just on this peach Ambien here. So anyway, I love you all. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.